Now, by laying out this grid like I did, I actually was kind of making a good little cheat for doing the fountain. Because I can say like, well, these are all squares. And so let's say if I took 4 of them, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, then that's the square I can use to make my fountain. So that means I got a lot of racing to do. So once again, boy, would I just not do these really strong lines if I was actually doing a drawing for realsies, right? There's no way, no way. Because it would be so hard to erase them really thoroughly. We'll just do this so everybody can see a little bit better. Okay, I don't need that. And I don't need these, really. And if I do need them, since I can't erase them that well, I guess I'll see them. Okay, so let's get rid of those. You know what else we're really not going to need? Are these ones right here. Let's get rid of them as well. Okay, cool. So here is my square. And so with that square, as you know, what I can do is I need to find the measured center. So I'm just going to go ahead and draw this down, and if I was being so persnickety and precise, I could measure this. I could say like, oh, okay, this is how far this is, and I could go here and get it just right. We're close enough. We don't have to keep measuring everything. Another way of keeping your stuff straight is if you keep your paper straight, straight with the edge of the board that you're working with or whatever. If you keep everything straight, then it's much easier for your brain to find, well, straightness. Okay, so let's see here. I'm going to guess that that's about the middle. Let's see if I'm anywhere close. Okay. Oh my goodness, was I off? So that's why you cannot trust. So somewhere in between there is the middle. So let's see, let's try that again. This time I'll make my mark a little bit differently so I don't get confused with that one. So is that better? Oh yeah, that's much better, isn't it? So that's why it's so important to measure if you want things to be precise. Okay, so there you go, we got that. And we could draw this over. There we go. Okay. So hopefully you can see that. We've got, our square here. This is our square here. Okay. Good enough. And so we've got this line right here. So I'm going to go just right to here. And here. And then, what I can do, I can just go ahead and nip those off. So if I had about halfway there, and about halfway here, here, about halfway here, and about there. Then I could just go ahead and nip those off. And as you can see, I'm starting to get my oval. Now, I know that's pretty liney, but I'm going to keep all that for just a little bit longer while I make the rest of it. Hopefully it's not too confusing. So, the next thing I've got to do is I've got to go up and make a cylinder out of this if I want to make that fountain. So I'm just going to go ahead and I'll make this oh, let's say this tall. Okay, that was totally arbitrary. Whatever the height is going to be, that is absolutely arbitrary. But, you know, I've already got the line right here, and that's how lazy I am. I'll just use that line. Okay, and so I'm going to go on back to here. But you know I don't have to go all the way back to the very end, do I? Or do I? Let me see, actually, as I look at this, I'm going to have to go at least past this corner, so I got to take this one just a little bit further. Okay, alrighty, and so then here is the corner of the square, so I'm just going to go up from there, from here. Okay, and so I've got my second square. And you can see how everything is really lining up very well. Okay, and so if this is the second square, what I've got to do is I've got to measure this one, and I'm going to guess that it's right about there. So I'll make another mark on my ruler here. Oh, I was not even close once again. Boy, I'm bad at guessing. And I'm the teacher, so imagine. Imagine. And that's why I measure instead of just guessing, especially for easy stuff like this. Okay. So if that's the halfway point, let's just mark it off. Okay. And so I can just draw this back to here and to here. Okay. Now, you know, all these points, one of the reasons why I didn't get rid of those is that I can just reuse those. Because look, if it's right, everything should be lining up. So here, and I could just say like, okay, right here, okay, right here, and right here, and right here, and we've got a point here, right here, and here, and here. Okay, everything lines up. Okay, and so what would I do? I would go ahead and connect those. Now, if you didn't watch the other tutorials before this is probably looking really damn confusing, right? But if you have, then hopefully you're seeing that this is a cylinder right here. And I will get rid of a bunch of the extra stuff that we don't need, and that's going to make it a lot more apparent. Okay. And to make ovals out of those, all I've got to do is just smooth them out a little bit. Okay. And we'll just smooth this one out a little bit as well. And well, I'm telling you, I hope you drew light. I know I keep saying that over and over, but really, your life is going to be so much nicer than mine is right now if you've drawn light. And so you can see we've got the checkerboards laid out for the floor, and we've got the fountain started. Let's do the inner one now. So the measured, or excuse me, the perspective center is right here, right? I can still see my line left over from before. So I can just arbitrarily say like, okay, I'm going to run a line through that and say that I'm going to do this about equal distance. Could measure that, but I'm getting tired of measuring things. So then running this back to here, we'll see that, oops, come on, baby. Where this lines up is, of course, where the square is. So here's the center. That's that axis that came here. Whoosh. And since this is in the center, it's going to have that exact same axis. So I just sort of arbitrarily said, like, okay, this is how fat it's going to be, and that's where it's going back to. And where those things meet, I know that is where this back one is. Of course, that's just back to the vanishing point. Okay, so that's my square, you know, and so then I just got to go and draw my little circle stuff, right, you know, and maybe right like that, you know, just nipping those off and just kind of guesstimating. And you can see that that's where I've got my, there we go, good enough. My inner one. And, you know, from there, I'm just going to bring it up. And probably, you know what I'm going to do? I could figure out this square right here just by making it into a cube. And I'm feeling like getting lazy, but oh no, I guess I should. So, you know, I'll just make another, see, another square. I'll just make it even with this one. Just even with this one right here. And of course the sides are going to go back, right? Everything's the same. Okay, and of course I'm going to, yeah, I could just bring these up. I was going to say I could just pull this back, but you'll see, look, if I've done everything right, this is where the back of my square should be. You see, because here's the back of my square here on the bottom. If I go straight up, that's where it should be. Let's check. And so we're going to line up this with the edge to this corner right here, and oh, look at that, bingo! It's right there, right where I thought it should be. Okay, so that's where my square is. This time I am going to just fake it in, because you guys don't want me to do the same thing over and over and over again, do you? Maybe. Maybe I should. I think the ovals I've been making have been better than this one. Anyways, and so that's how I would get my top little bowl. Maybe something like this, you know, something like this, you know, just whatever's. And so that's how I'm going to get sort of that inner bowl shape. Of course, I did it a lot more carefully than, you know, when I was doing my own one. But you guys, you know, don't want me to sit here and do this forever and ever, do you? Okay. So there's that. And so then the next thing would be this guy on the side. So, but this is getting to be a long video already, so I'll go ahead and continue this in the next one.